Okay, and we're back at Black Sea Offstage Talks, and I'm joined here by Tanja Grubner. Tanja is Global Innovation Brand and Communication Director for Obesity, who you might know from her amazing works for Libres, breaking taboos and setting new standards in communication. Hello, Tanja. Thank you for being here with us. Of course, thank you for a great speech you gave yesterday. I guess upon coming to Georgia, you might not have heard much about Georgia. Was there something you found out after visiting that made you think that, wow, I did make a great decision upon agreeing to come to Georgia?
Well, actually, in one of my previous roles, I was in charge of Eastern Europe, so that part of the region, you know, from Russia all the way to Greece was part of it, even though I've never been here, but one of my colleagues came from Georgia, so I've been exposed to your amazing food before coming here, and I think after now spending a few days here, what surprised me probably the most were the people, how warm and positive and wonderful the people are. So everyone who hasn't been, I highly recommend you come to the Advertising Black Sea Festival and take some time to visit the country.
Your works have become famous as they don't shy away from breaking taboos, and you don't shy away from going against stereotypes. Such battles are never easy, and I'd imagine those battles don't happen only after the launch of the communication, but before the communication starts as well, maybe within the company as well. How important is being devoted to the cause? How important has it been to reach such levels and such success with your communication?
I think it means everything, because if you do taboo breaking work, the nature of taboo means it's not liked by everyone, it makes people uncomfortable, and those people are not only outside but also inside your company. And especially when you do it for the very first time, people get scared. So you really need to be committed to get the work out there, because in the beginning, the majority of people will not be supportive of the work. So what we have seen is that even with consumer research showing that they love taboo breaking work, there were a lot internally who were afraid in terms of what will it do to my brand? Is it the right thing to do? Will it have a negative impact on sales? There were people asking, well, how about my bigger share and stakeholders? And then obviously there's been media owners where we presented the work who said, no, this is against our policy. So I think passion, commitment, and devotion to doing that is everything. And I'm calling my account team at our global advertising agency, AMV BBDO, my army of Erin Brockovich. So you know the film, right? Yeah, so she went above and beyond. And these people never give up in writing argumentations towards media owners why this campaign needs to go out.
I guess traditionally one would test the campaign ideas in focus groups, and I believe this is the kind of campaign that might have not had great success in the focus groups, but you still have to push through that because you believe in the idea, and the audience reactions are usually better. And personally for me, I believe those campaigns are first of all, for the primary audience, they are very supportive and build understanding. And for the secondary audience, such as myself, they act as very educational content in understanding what women go through. How does one decide to push through all these untraditional methods based, like you don't usually, one pays attention what people think in the focus groups. How does one prove that this is one thing that we should totally do?
So I think you're perfectly right. for exactly that reason, we're not doing focus groups. So we're never doing qualitative research because you don't know the composition, and there might be one person who is deeply offended and can sway this group of people. So we have developed our own research methodology, and we only do quantitative research to make sure we get the breadth. And we have a set of 5 questions. So, and we research it 2 times. So one, we research the idea in the form of a mid-film, and then later, before we go on air, we research the finished film. And the questions that we're asking is on, so the film is being showed is a very simple 5-point scale. Do I love the work? Do I like the work? I don't care. I don't like it or I hate it. So that's one. Another question is, would I share it? Another question, a very important one for us, is how does it make you feel? And this is where we have a set of emotions. I feel understood. One is also, I feel offended. And this is a measurement we're looking into very closely. So if the offensiveness goes beyond 10%, we would not launch the work in the market. But if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, or 9%, we are okay to offend some people, because that's what breaking taboos means. And then we also ask, would you buy the product, or does it change your attitude towards the brand? Are you more positive towards the brand, more negative, or neutral? And this helps us decide, is the work good enough? We also ask a question around message clarity, and also, do the majority of people love it, or the ones who offended, we ask them, why are you offended? The ones who love it is, what do you love about it? And that helps us shape it and make sure that we're not pushing it too far, but at the same time also that our work is in vanilla.
Thank you. That was very insightful, personally for me at least. Tanja, your works have received numerous awards to date around the globe, and your works have been recognized like some of the arguably probably the most successful campaigns in recent years, with Viva la Vulva and Womb Stories being among them. Is there a work that you did that probably flew under the radar, but you still hold it very dear nevertheless, and think that it should have achieved more?
Yeah. So actually, the thing that has probably started everything, and that was shortly before I joined, was done by one of my colleagues. And it was the same creative team who did Viva la Vulva, and that campaign was called No Blood Should Hold Us Back. So, and that was the first time when Libres decided to show blood, but we didn't show menstrual blood, but we talked about the taboo around periods and sports, and that basically it is absent. So, and part of the campaign was not only a film, which personally I always liked. It was very much in your face, but it was also, we did a partnership with a food company to give nutritional advice throughout your cycle, and we had a partnership with a fitness center who gave sports and training advice, what you can do. And that campaign won the very first Lion in SCT ever. It wasn't a gold lion, and that was also not only the first for SCT in the company history of more than 150 years, but also for the feminine care category. And I think that was really the starting point for everything. So look it up. No Blood Should Hold Us Back.
I definitely will. And
the music is also very powerful.
Yeah, actually I love the music from Viva la Vulva. I just sometimes listen to it on Spotify. One of the things I want to mention, I think Libres was also the first company to show that it's not some blue liquid that should go into. Yeah. Today, like throughout the speech and throughout this interview, you told us about the process and the bravery that is needed to take up some challenges like that, and the results are showing at the moment that you are on the right track. How do you think what's next for Libres, and are your upcoming projects, and are there any upcoming projects and collaborations that you are particularly excited about?
Yeah, so actually we have just launched in August our latest work. It's never just a period, and that was probably one of the most difficult campaigns to make, because it's incredibly complex. We showed a lot of products. It's for all our markets globally, so from Sweden to South Africa and Argentina to China. And what we are telling is that even though there's been massive progress in terms of how we show the period care category and period care advertising, so blue liquid is a thing of the past because we are women and not Smurfs. And there is also women have much more confidence. But what we found out is that women still have so many unanswered questions around their bodies, and that led to us understanding that even today there is girls who see blood in their pants and they think they are dying, so because they are not aware that they are just getting their period. So with Never Just a Period, we want to start the debate and answer a lot of those questions and make sure that women know they are not alone. And I think my dream is that this is not only sparking a debate but also collaborations, so that at universities, when you start medicine, the menstrual cycle is taken into account, menopause is taken into account, the impacts that we will collaborate with, for example, when vaccinations are developed. You're not only asking, are you a man or a woman and how old you are, but which part of your cycle are you having, so that we can understand, are there any side effects, and that basically the female body is much more researched and understood, so it's not such a mystery. So yeah, my future dream is that Libres can start collaborating across the industry to support women.
That's amazing. And I guess battling stereotypes is never getting easier, but fighting for a cause is really rewarding.
So it doesn't get easier, but we get better at it.
Yeah.
So because we've been doing it for so long, it's still a challenge, but now we also know the tricks.
Yeah, that's a great insight. Festivals like Cannes Lions and the One Show, D&AD, have a huge role in developing advertising creativity and pushing boundaries, breaking taboos. How do you see the role of smaller festivals like at Black Sea? What can at Black Sea do to liberate new topics, like start opening new conversations?
So, I mean, obviously, Cannes Lions and One Shows are the known ones because they're the biggest ones and they're global, but it doesn't mean that regional shows are less important. So I think the strength of regional shows is to really shine a light on the insights from those countries in here. And I think over the last years we've seen creative work coming from much more countries. In the past it was always the US, everyone looked into the US, but today we look into Brazil, we look into Argentina, we look into Thailand, and why shouldn't we in the future also look into Georgia? And I think this is where creative regional festivals are really important.
As Paco said, some troubles are real good to have because it fuels creativity as well, right? What would your message be to those who didn't manage to attend this year's festival? Why should they try to attend next year's, and what do you receive from festivals like this?
Yeah. So I think everyone who didn't attend, I have to tell you, you really missed out. I attended several talks that I thought were really insightful. They showed not only international work, or we had international speakers, but also local speakers, and I'm very much looking forward to the award show tonight. So when I'm attending international festivals, I always make time to go to the awards, because it is almost like a summary of what good looks like. So I usually bring my notebook or my phone and take notes from the winning work, and then I come back, sit together with my team, and we discuss of what are we jealous of, and what do we want to learn, what do we want to do from here. So I think it's a great place to get inspired, to network, and to have a good time.
Thank you, Tanja, for inspiring through your work new generations of creatives, and for sitting with us at Black Sea Offstage Talks.
Thanks for having me. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.